So in this video, I'm going to share the top 7 revenue streams and how I make money from these revenue streams. And I'm also going to give you an estimate range of how much money I make from each revenue stream. So this will give you some idea of the background, and the fundamental equation of money for me is skill creates value, which creates money. That means that you have to build a skill first. And once you have a skill, you can create value for other people or for other businesses by solving problems. And when you create value in exchange, you'll get money. So for example, with my agency business, I've generated around $65 million of revenue for my clients. And that's a goal that my clients had. So together for my clients, I've generated that amount of money. And in exchange, I have made a few $1,000,000 in revenue over the past years from my clients, right? So that's the core equation. And based on this in mind, let's start with the revenue streams. The first revenue stream, the first income stream that I had when I started was actually freelancing. And I started freelancing way back in 2009, 2010. That was the first time I experimented with freelancing. And this is the best skill to start with, the best revenue stream to start with, because all you need is you need a skill, and then you need to provide value for others. Now, the important thing is how you upgrade as a freelancer is the higher the skill level, the higher the value that you create, and the higher the income. So you can start off being a generalist, and then you can specialize in some format or some particular niche, and then your value will be higher because you can solve problems faster and better for that particular niche or industry. Another way that you can do this is that you can just add in your creativity to improve your skill level so that now you can have a different kind of an output, and that particular creative output is something that is perceived as higher value by your clients. So every time you increase the quality of your product or service, in this case, by providing higher, better value, by improving your skill levels, you'll have higher income. So what you need to crack here is the way to learn. If you know how to learn and improve your skills, you will basically keep making more money as a freelancer. Now, I wouldn't say that you will become crazy rich as a freelancer, but you will make enough to replace your full-time job, is what I have seen in most cases. And I used to train freelancers, work with freelancers one-on-one through GrowthGrad, which we don't do anymore. But that gave us an opportunity to see how people can easily replace their full-time income with freelancing. At least to that level, freelancing will get you. Now, that's where you need leverage. And leverage means that you can produce more output with the same or lower amount of input. So one way that you can use leverage is just like you were using your own skills, now you can use other people's skills in a way that both of you get value. So for example, if I have clients and you are a freelancer, the value that I can bring to you is I can be the person who designs the strategy, works with the client, and you can do the execution work. So the problem I'm solving for you is having to look for clients, specifically, let's say, higher ticket size clients. So I've solved your problem. In exchange, I can make some money because I can upsell your service to the clients, and I can put a markup on your service to the clients. And for me, it's leverage because now I'm leveraging your skills instead of my time. Right? So I could have used my marketing skill, let's say, and worked on a marketing campaign for a client, but now you are working on that marketing campaign. Let's say a client asked me to write a blog post, right? And I understand the good structure of a blog post. I understand how to optimize it for search results and so forth. And I give you that framework and I say, why don't you write this blog post? Maybe I tell you, follow these steps, plug this into ChatGPT, get some information from there, go to this website, do your research, etc. I give you a framework. And then go to this tool and optimize it for search, and then go to this platform and publish it. Now you know the process and you can keep executing it, while I will get paid because I will put a markup on your. So I'm leveraging your skills, but I'm providing my expertise, and you are getting the value of learning with me and also working with bigger clients through me. So all of our problems are being solved and the client is getting what they need. So this is how you transition to a bigger revenue stream. And for me, I would say this transition happened after 2 years of freelancing. I started an agency. So 2012, I started Mapplinks, which is my agency. It's been 12 solid years that I've been running the agency. And this is where leveraging other people's skills, which a lot of people say leveraging human resource or leveraging, human capital. Some people say leveraging manpower. I don't really like those terms. I prefer saying leveraging other people's skills because, for example, I don't believe that everyone needs to be hired full-time. You can work with consultants, you can subcontract. There are many ways that you can structure an agency without having too much of a baggage, sort of a lean agency. The core concept is that you're leveraging other people's skills. That's something that you'll have to keep in mind. Now, I told you that as a freelancer, you can upgrade by having better skills. But how do you upgrade as an agency? Of course, you can upgrade by having freelancers improve their skills. So constantly investing into their learnings, buying courses for them, buying templates for them, making sure they attend webinars, conferences, giving them the opportunity to do all of that, giving them the opportunity to work on harder projects will also increase their skills. As an agency owner, I'm very invested in the people I work with and also the businesses I work for. So the businesses I work for, the clients, I try to solve more problems for them. I try to solve bigger problems for them. That's one way to improve as an agency. The other way is I try to improve the skills of my freelancers so that they can be more value to the table, and then I can ask for more money from the clients, right? So everyone benefits. This mindset of if you're a business owner, you're sort of misusing manpower to make money is completely wrong. You are providing them the revenue that they want, you're providing them the learning that they need, and you're solving problems for everyone. Everyone benefits, right? So if you solve bigger problems, you will get paid more as an agency. Or if you solve the same problems for bigger businesses, that's another way to think about it. Even in that case, you'll get paid more as an agency. So for example, if I go to a business that's doing 10 lakhs a month in revenue, and they're getting traffic from Facebook ads to a landing page and converting people on the landing page at a 2% conversion rate. If I go there and I improve their conversion rate to 4%, now they're making 20 lakhs in revenue instead of 10 lakhs. I've doubled their revenue. If I take their revenue from 10 lakhs to 20 lakhs without changing anything on their ads, let's say just working on the conversion rate of the landing page, which is the number of people who go through the landing page and buy, I've added 10 lakhs to their revenue. Do you think they'll have a problem paying me 1 lakh for that as a value generated? No problem for paying an additional 1 lakh a month to me, right? But now imagine this. What if that client was doing 100 lakhs? What if that client was doing 1 crore a month and I got them to 1.5 crores a month? Now, would they mind me paying 5 lakhs a month extra for that? So I just solved the exact same problem, but for a bigger business, right? So that's one way that you can scale an agency. So agency scaling traditionally is looked at just hiring more people. I've had an average of 5 employees or less in my agency over the past 14 years. Of course, there was a time when I had a full office in Koramangala with 25 people and all of that, but that was a very short period of time. And I soon realized I'm a lifestyle entrepreneur and I don't want to build a big business with a lot of people, and I don't even want an office, which is why I now live and work from this apartment in South Vietnam. And knowing yourself, self-awareness is sort of the key thing that you evolve over time. And that's one way that I'm scaling my agency, solving bigger problems. The other way is investing in the 5 people that I work with, right? So their value increases, and then I can bring more value to the table for my clients. Now, one thing to realize, if you're making the transition from a freelancer to an agency, that your same skills, which are your core skills, whether you were a marketer or a video editor or a content writer or a graphic designer or a WordPress developer or a website developer or Shopify, you could be any of those skill sets, or even, a range of skills beyond that. But now you will need a second set of skills. Now you need to work on the business and not just in the business. And this is a huge difference, because a lot of even the best freelancers that I see who transition to managing people and running an agency will fail because they have worked on the skills and not on the management, right? So the transition to on the business is really important. So right now I'm running the agency, which is doing lakhs of revenue, and I'll share the range in a moment, a month. But still, I am quite hands-off and I'm focusing on the business because I have a very good team, right? So if you want more of this kind of content, make sure that you've subscribed to the channel, because I am also going to produce videos about how to run the business and what kind of skills you can develop and so forth. And I think these are more important than just looking at the portfolios, because the investing portfolios, if you've seen my portfolio videos, will happen as a result of the amount that you've made. Now, the reason why I show my portfolio is because it's a way for me to document my investing journey, and that's what this channel is about. But at the same time, I'm very transparent and honest about the fact that I haven't made that money from the stock market. I've made that money from my business, from my revenue streams, and this is the core content that people should be focusing on. When you go and look at YouTube channels where people are showing lakhs of money in their portfolio or crores of money in some cases in their portfolio, the question that you have to ask is, where did the money come from in the first place to invest into the market, right? And it came from the revenue streams. So the core skills could be marketing, design, content, coding, writing. I mean, you could be providing any of these as a freelancer or an agency, but now you need a layer of that on the business skills like management, leadership, operations, strategy, planning, hiring. And these are all things that you can do in a very lean way, just by yourself, having a small team of virtual assistants. And I'm not selling a dream here. This is exactly what I have done with my agency. If you want to build a simple lifestyle business, right? But if you want to go crazy, keep hiring people, keep scaling year on year, month on month, then this may not be for you. Then it's going to be more of setting up an office, hiring people, constantly doing sales and outreach. Those are things I don't like to get into because I live a very simple and slow life. And it doesn't resonate with my life's goals, right? And I tend to attract people in my team also who are similar to me. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't make a lot of money. When it comes to services from the agency, we make around 10 to 20 lakhs a month. And this is the amount in revenue. Now, it's a bigger range, but there are some great months where we make 25, 30 lakhs in a single month. And then there are some very slow months where we make 7 lakhs, 8 lakhs as well. But on an average, I would say 15, 16 lakhs as an average, if you look at the past, let's say 6 months, would be a decent range to be in. If you look at a 12-month window, then there are some months which are dry, especially because we work in the e-com market and a lot of our clients are in the US. So the end of the year is really good for us, while the first half of the year could be slow depending on the industry. So 10 to 20 lakhs a month is what we make from the agency. Is this a crazy amount? For some people, yes. But if you compare it to a regular agency, it's not a lot. Agencies make much more money, but this is a lifestyle business. This is me and a few of very closely, knit team members that I work with. So for us, given that small team size and we are not aggressively scaling from month on month, this is pretty decent for us to, help us build and maintain and even grow the kind of lifestyle that we live. So this is the income from the agency. The next income stream is consulting. So we've covered freelancing, which is something I don't do anymore. But since I started with that, I did want to mention that. Now, consulting, basically the difference between services and consulting is that in services, we actually solve problems for the clients by executing. And the client actually knows what problems to solve. But there's a lot of clients who don't know what problems need to be solved. So we need to advise them. And that's where consulting comes in. In this case, the client doesn't know what problem to solve, and we become the consultants to help them identify those problems. Now, they could solve those problems themselves, or they could hire us as an agency and take our services to solve those problems as a second step. Now, just think about this for a moment, because this is a beautiful loop in which both of these revenue streams coexist. Right? So when I enter a business as an agency, I can identify that they need consulting. If I enter a business as consultant, I can identify which of the parts they need as a service. So in terms of consulting, I work as a fractional CMO for certain brands. And of course, these are, they are not the biggest brands in the world, but they are brands who are doing it around 1 crore a month or more, typically in that range. And I also work as a growth marketing consultant. These two are slightly different. As a fractional CMO, I have to bring all of the pieces of the marketing together, all of the teams together, and so forth. As a growth marketing consultant, it could be in some cases just an independent consultant role. So those are two different things, but I enjoy both. At my experience of 12 years, I could rather be taking more of the fractional CMO clients, but I do love execution. So I still take the growth marketing clients as well, because I love to see the experimentation process. When you're a fractional CMO, you tend to go a little bit further away from the experimentation process, while as a growth marketing consultant, you are right on top of that. So I enjoy both of these. Income from consulting is not a lot, 4 to 8 lakhs a month. The reason it's not a lot is because I don't want to do a lot of consulting, because it's directly time for money, right? So I have to really sell my hours. when it's consulting. There's less leverage when you compare it to services. And these are typically from 2 to 3 clients. So I don't take a lot of clients for consulting. This 4 to 8 lakhs a month should come from 2 to 3 clients in a month, right? So that's where the income from consulting is. The next one is partnerships. This is very interesting. Now, all of these revenue streams are in some way they are linked together. So if you look at the previous revenue stream, I go in as a consultant, I find that they need services. Maybe I provide those services, in which case my agency can provide those services, but there could be services that I don't provide. For example, we don't do video editing. We don't do anything related to video, for example, right? In that case, I could refer a video editing agency to this client. For example, influencer marketing. We do some influencer marketing for the US market, but let's say if I'm consulting a client in the Indian market, I don't do influencer marketing in the Indian market. I might refer an agency that does that, right? So those are areas where partnerships help. So the agency partners, for example, would be me recommending other agencies to solve the client's problems. Now I'm a consultant, I understand their problems. I can say, oh, this agency can solve your problem. And I know that they can because I've worked with them in the past with other clients. So my client, the problem I'm solving for my client is they don't have to look at 100 agencies. They have past data through me that this agency can actually solve their problem, right? And they trust me because they know that Rishabh is not going to refer us an agency just randomly. He's going to make sure that they can solve the problem, right? So trust is very important, and it comes from your reputation, right? So if your reputation is in the market that you are an affiliate sort of a person who just sells stuff, then it's going to be hard for you. But if your reputation is that once you refer someone, you make sure that the client's problem is solved, which is luckily how I've built my reputation over the years. And fundamentally, if you have those moral values and principles set, then your reputation will by default be very positive, right? And in that case, the clients are going to go with your referral. Similarly, product affiliates, if you think of this as a small scale, at a not a small scale, but at a different B2C kind of scale, you'll see that when you trust a YouTuber, you will click on their affiliate link and you will buy something, right? So it's very similar, but I'm talking about large businesses who want to hire agencies, right? It's the same thing, but in this case, the referral is coming from the fact that I've worked with them as a partner in the past, right? So product affiliates are similar to what you see on YouTube, right? So these are YouTubers making videos and then they will link it. But I don't do that. What I am doing is for my clients, if there is a piece of software that can solve their problems, I would recommend the software for them only if I have used the software and if I'm a partner with that software. These partnerships are very different from affiliates. It's actually hard to call them affiliates because affiliate marketeers would basically sell products from affiliate links, irrespective of whether they themselves use them or not. But as an agency, we actually partner with these software. We deploy those software and tools and we manage it for our clients. And that's more of a partnership. So actually, I have written and used the wrong word affiliates here. It should be product partnership. So I'll give you an example. There is a software for email marketing called ConvertKit. So if you get my templates from my YouTube channel, like the net worth tracker, for example, and the portfolio calculator, you will see that it goes to a landing page and then you have to put in your email address. That email address goes into ConvertKit, and in the future, I can send you campaigns or notifications about new videos, etc. You might find one of those links to sign up in the description, but it's completely free. So you can sign up to my newsletter as well. But what happens is that piece of software is so good. I've been using it for so many years that I'm very good at ConvertKit. So if a client also needs to build an email funnel through ConvertKit, I will refer them, give them my referral link of ConvertKit. So in this case, the problem I'm solving for the client is that they don't need to look for or set up or learn about a new software because I already know about that. It's proven for me. I know the templates. I even give them my templates and everything as a value add. And I will make a commission from them paying for that software. Right? So this is my way of doing product partnerships and agency partnerships. In everything I do, I try to do it in the most ethical way. And I think that's the most important thing. So there are a lot of companies who have started emailing me about, putting their affiliate links, for example, on the YouTube channel. But even the companies are, they are genuine and those tools are good, but I just don't use them, right? So if I don't use them, it's hard for me to say this is the best tool to do this, ABC, blah, blah, blah. Everyone knows on this YouTube channel, I basically use Zerodha for my investments, but I've not even put an affiliate link of Zerodha in my recent videos. The reason is that, there is actually no specific reason. I just don't think that this is something I want to treat as a business, at least for now. And I want to focus on my main businesses. But there is no harm in recommending products that you use that work for you to other people. But I just want to do it in a way that I'm actually able to see that the problems are solved. And this is why I do it more for my B2B side of business, right? So when I recommend, for example, an email marketing software or a sales CRM software or a project management software to a client, I can actually see them using it. And I feel really good about that because it has solved the problems for the client, right? So commissions, not a lot of income, on an average 1 to 2 lakhs a month, I would say. If you take the averages, some months are really low. Some months I don't recommend anything to anyone. Some months I would recommend like a big piece of software. And if the client likes it and if they go ahead and purchase it, it's going to be a bigger piece of commissions, right? Now, the next income stream is Infoproducts, which is courses and books. This is the YouTube favorite income stream. I've seen like most YouTubers make money from this kind of an income stream. I do it slightly differently. What I do is whatever I'm executing for clients, I'll take all of those learnings and combine it and make a course out of that. But I have created only 3 courses till now, and they are really focused on execution. And the courses are doing pretty well. But recently, I would say last year, I made my growth marketing course completely free on YouTube. So I have a 30 days growth marketing course completely free. So this revenue completely dipped after that. There are marketing books as well. So I have Mastering Growth Marketing, which is my recent book, which is on Amazon and Flipkart and so forth. But I would like to disclose that you don't really make money from books. There's hardly anything that you get at the end of the day. I think if you sell a book for 500 rupees, you'll get 50, 60 rupees at the end coming back to you as royalty, which is not much, especially if you've done it with a publication house. But it's good for branding, and it's good that the books will support the revenue from the courses, but themselves, I don't think that books are the best way to make money, right? So income from products would be 1 to 2 lakhs a month, but this is also because there are some courses that I created earlier, which is on my GrowthGrad website, where people are, there's good marketeers and entrepreneurs. It's for senior people. I don't have a lot of beginner friendly courses, which is why this income is lower. If you make beginner friendly courses that you can really scale, in fact, you could do 10 to 20 lakhs from products if it's beginner kind of courses, which is what a lot of YouTubers do. I still do it for the marketing, experienced marketeers. I have my growth marketing course, but since I made that free, the entire course, it's going to take a dip. But there is still a growth marketing bundle that I'm creating, which has all of the templates that I've used for my clients and all of that in one bundle. And I think I will continue to see it's going to be priced at a few $100s, and that's going to be for the international market. So I like to focus on the slightly advanced audience and higher ticket size products. But if you really want to make income from products, you should do beginner audience and low ticket size. That's really good for scaling. So there's a lot of YouTubers, I'm sure I don't need to make names, who will make lakhs or even crores from that kind of a funnel, right? So it's definitely a doable funnel, just something that I don't want to do right now. I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm not saying I will not do it in future, but I love to have this ratio of where 10 times the money is coming from the agency. That means I'm actually doing those things for people. I'm actually implementing those things for clients, and 10% of that I make from products. But if it's the other way around, that means that you're selling how to do it, but you're not doing it yourself, which I feel ethically is not aligned with me. I would like to do the thing for people more than sell the information about how to do it. That's just my ethical framework, and that works for me. So the next one is training. So we do both corporate trainings as well as marketing cohorts. This is something that we've recently experimented. I've done 2 cohorts on growth marketing, where it was 1 to 2 months live coaching, live training people on growth marketing. And this is another revenue stream, which is around 1.5 lakhs if you look at the average, because many months we don't run the trainings or the cohorts. In terms of corporate trainings, I've done for Nestle, I've done for Philips, some of the bigger companies in the past, and those are fun because you have really experienced people in those trainings, and you're like the startup guy coming in and telling them what to do with the marketing. So it's more fun from that perspective, but I enjoy it. And I think on an average, this will stay in this range because, again, it takes a lot of time and energy to train people and answer every question. So I don't want to be doing it year round, right? So all of these revenue streams that we've seen so far are just limited by how much time I'm willing to invest. Some of them I can use leverage, and hence they have more, like the agency. The last one is based on the investments that I've made. So this is the Airbnb and rental income. I have a separate video about this, so you can check out that video to see how I do the Airbnb management and everything. But this is the lowest. Say it's in the 60 to 80,000 a month range. But this is an area of really interest for me, and I might scale this in the future. So this is the overall split. 66% of the revenue comes from the agency. 17% of the revenue comes from consulting. So if you look at agency and consulting together, which is the services piece, that's going to make most of my income. So if you do the 80-20 analysis, 80% of my income will come from the services, which is one big chunk, right? Then there's the live trainings, which includes both corporate as well as the cohorts, which is around 7.4% of the income. Products is going to be around 5 to 6%. Now I might increase this because this is the passive element. These two are the passive elements. I might increase this as I age. So my rule is, if I'm when I'm 40, when I turn 40, I should ideally have 40% of my income coming from passive sources. So that's how I want to, target this. But right now, as you can see, it's around 10% and I'm already 34. So I don't think I'm going to reach that. It's not a very hard goal because I just enjoy services so much. And I think because I enjoy services, I will be able to build better case studies. If I decide to build more courses, I will be able to build better courses because I'm an execution first kind of person. So I like to do the value, create the value for other clients by doing it first. And hence my products will be much higher value if I actually create them, versus someone who's creating products for the sake of making money. So at that point of time, I'll be creating products not for the sake of money, but for the sake of helping people. And I think then I'll make more money, right? This is my perspective with creating this kind of content as well. If I'm creating it from a perspective of just helping, eventually some form, because money is energy, it's going to flow back, right? But if I'm doing something just for the sake of making money, I just don't feel like doing it. And that's just a personal thing, right? And finally, there's this 3.3%. I think as my investments in real estate grow, this will grow by themselves. But basically having more passive is one key action item that I will have to take in the next 5 to 6 years. But for now, I think for 1 more year, 2 more years, still going to be keeping my main focus on services. So that's the revenue stream split. If you look at an overall analysis of this entire presentation, you would see that the main skill is marketing. And then I've used it to generate all of these multiple revenue streams. And if you had to take away something from this video as an action item, which I think that you should, this is what I enjoy about YouTube. I would typically watch videos and then make notes of what I can do as an action item from this rather than just watching it for entertainment, right? So build your main skill. That's going to be your fundamental base from which everything else will come out. Then you start your first revenue stream. And that first revenue stream is something that you should target replacing your job, right? That's the first revenue stream if you're in a job, which I assume a lot of people are. And if you're already building a revenue stream, once you've built that, you'll get ideas to build the next one and how to scale that one. Like I've given you some tips of how to scale freelancing, how to scale agency. And the other things I haven't given you because I haven't scaled them and I'm not scaling them right now. This is my core fundamental. I share only things which I have done myself. So I'm not sharing any theory here. It's all based on practical experience that I have. And then once you've done that, you grow from there. And that would be my key takeaway and from this video. And if you want to get started, I have nothing, to pitch or to sell. But do subscribe to this channel because you'll see more of this content and this kind of content. If you enjoy this, then I would create more of this content on skill, building revenue streams, and I could go more detailed on, the agency business, the consulting business, the products and so forth. So let me know in the comments what you want to see more of, and I'll create more of that content. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.